Hello. I thought I should show you a bit more about the leather. Mom, you asked about the zip. So let me just switch this fan off here. It's a bit noisy. Okay. Yeah, the zip. Here's a piece of zip. So I bought a long piece and then I cut it shorter. And then I used my pliers to pull off, actually to cut off some of these teeth with the cutting pliers and to pull them off. And then I have a bag full of little stop ends here, which they're like this stop end, which you put on. And the zip is basically held between two pieces of leather. So there's this piece and the bottom piece, and the zip is in between them. And this is the line of stitches that holds it in place. Yeah, so, and then what else? Oh, I just thought I'd show you some of my tools. So this is an interesting tool. It makes a groove so that you can hide your stitches inside a groove. And I'll show you how it works. Basically, you would rule it over the surface of the leather. You can see it removes a little sausage and makes a groove, and then you can punch your holes inside the groove, which hides them. Take your mallet and then you have a nice row of holes. These are diagonal holes, so they're good when you want something that's waterproof, like a pair of shoes, because the holes are very small. You can also use a hole punch like this one, which makes round holes because it actually removes some of the material and makes a much bigger hole. And then there is the edge beveler, which looks like this. This one is made in Japan, and you run it along the edge. It's not the best piece of leather I chose here, but it removes some material from the edge, which rounds it off nicely, because when you later when you burnish the leather later on, that didn't work so well because this piece of leather is unevenly thick. It's just a piece of scrap, but you use the edge beveler to round the edge of the leather so that when you burnish it later, it doesn't mushroom out, because you've rounded it. The groove fits into this groove on the burnishing tool, and the burnishing seals the edge, makes it more watertight, waterproof. And then we have this is a skiving tool. It's used to make the leather thinner. So again, not the best piece of leather to demonstrate on, but you can see it removes layers, and that makes the leather thinner. Sometimes you need to stitch two pieces of leather over each other and it ends up being very thick at the joint, so you would skive it to bring it closer together. And what else have I got? I have big hole punches like this one, makes a huge hole like that. And I have smaller hole punches and I have very small ones. I've got an awl that I used to make holes with by hand. I've got this roller. So when you stitch two pieces of leather together, it's good to glue it. So I use this glue, and then you roll it over the joint to activate the glue, because the glue is pressure activated, and that holds all the leather together, so it's easier to stitch. And then of course I have this baby, which is my stitching pony, and basically you open it. You open it at the top here, and it clamps the leather so that you can use both hands for stitching, so that you don't have to hold the leather while you're stitching it. And there's a lot more. I didn't show you everything. Obviously there's a lot of tools involved with dyeing, coloring the leather, and checking the thickness, the quality. I have a digital caliper, and I use power tools to sand the edges. So there's a lot.